Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, tuần theo link thêm, tuần chơi Girl Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Alright guys, so welcome to the new KHÓA boosted 4.0 demo, and this is just going to be a quick start demo to show you how to start building a target keyword list. It's going to have the kind of most common default setup when you first download the template, so you'll see all your ASINs selected and then helium-10, Cerebro, and the two X-ray files. You can also use this for if you have Zonguru, Jungle Scout. We've got Cellarize integrations as well, so there'll be additional training for that, but this is just kind of a quick start to get kind of set up. We've got a new API integration with Amazon, so Keyword Dominator is way faster than it's been in the past, and this video is just going to kind of highlight the steps. So once you get the tool authorized and you get the KHÓA boosted menu to display, if you haven't gotten that, make sure you just go back and watch the previous video. It's really fast to get that visible, but you'll see the menu has been streamlined as well. There's basically just 4 steps. So you're basically going to choose your top 10 ASINs. If you already know your top 10 ASINs, you can just plug them in here. And then we're going to download the Cerebro reports and the helium-10 X-ray file. And then we're just going to click this button. It's going to import those files automatically into the system. And then we're going to build our target keyword list from there. So it's really just 4 quick steps. One key distinction, if you've got your own product that you're wanting to use Keyword Dominator for, it does need to go into this cell here. So you can see it says My ASIN, or you can use this to do like product research and you just put in your first competitor if that's the case. But anyway, if you're starting a new session and you don't have 10 ASINs, go ahead and plug in a main keyword here. And you're just going to hop up here, hit choose top 10 ASINs, and it's going to take you over to Amazon. It's going to search this keyword. All right, and from there, just go ahead and open up the Chrome extension for whichever tool you're using. So I've got helium-10, so I've got the X-ray tool. And once the tool loads, go ahead and sort it by revenue, and that'll just show you which ones are making the most money. And we'll make the highest at the top. All right, and what you're going to want to do is go down through, and you're going to want to think from kind of a customer's perspective and buyer intent. Make sure it's going to be similar products to yours. You know, similar price range, stuff like that. And then you're just going to copy the ASINs that you feel are kind of the top 10 most relevant, with the idea of the ones making the most money are going to be ranking pretty well for certain keywords. So that's kind of the concept. All right, and then what I like to do is go ahead and just put the windows side by side and then just copy and paste the ASINs here. So you can see I've got kind of 10 already done. You can just use this little icon and copy and paste them across till you have 10. Again, make sure if you've got your own product, put that in here. We're going to pretend that this is our product for this example. All right, and then once we've got that, all we need are the Cerebro files and X-ray files. So what we can do now is just come up to Keyword Dominator menu and click Download New Data. And this is going to open us up a couple tabs. You are going to want to make sure you have the right country. So you can see I'm in the US marketplace, and API mode is going to be selected by default. If for some reason the Amazon API ever has issues, we do have kind of a backup method of still using the tool, using scribbles in this case to get the ASIN data, but you don't need to worry about that in this video. There's kind of additional training if that's ever needed. All right, and you can see 3 tabs opened up automatically. We've got 2 Amazon tabs and then 1 Cerebro tab there for helium-10. And what you can do if you ever forget what to actually save the files and name them as is just scroll down and look at what you have checked. Basically, any of these keyword sources that you mark checked before you hit the download new data, it's going to automatically open you to the place you need to download them. And you can see for like the Cerebro file, we're going to name it CR, and it's going to be a CSV file type. For the X-ray file, again, CSV, and then there's a second X-ray file if you want to use it. If basically you only need the XR2 file if your usually if your product is not in the top search results pages. So all right, so once the search results page opens for the X-ray file, go ahead and just open up your Chrome extension, and you don't need to sort this one or anything. Just click the download button. All right, so we're going to save this file to a specific location in our Google Drive account. And we basically, when we authorized Keyword Dominator, we had a special folder called FBA Excel Tools, and you can see it gets created kind of in the root Google Drive directory. That automatically got created, and within that folder, there's 2 folders, Keyword Sources New and Keyword Sources Imported. there's a feature in Keyword Dominator where you can set it up to automatically move any of the files as they get imported into the system from the new folder structure to the imported folder structure. I'll show you that in just a second, but just know for now that any new files that we're downloading that we haven't imported into Keyword Dominator yet, we're going to put it in the new folder. So keyword sources -new, and because this is a Helium 10 file, we're going to save it in the H10, and we're just going to name this capital XR. And just go ahead and hit save, and then once you save it, you can actually just get out of it. So I'm going to get out of that, and then this second file is, so you can see this is a special search, product search page where it's actually just searching the top 10 ASINs that we have plugged into Keyword Dominator and returning their product pages. And we're going to do the exact same thing again. This one's just for cases where you may not have one of these products in that top first page of search results that we already downloaded. So should open you back up to the exact same place, and we're just going to name this XR2, and I'm going to make it capital. So we're going to name this one XR2 and just hit save on that guy. And we've got one more file here now, so I'm going to X out of this. All right, and lastly, it should open us up to Cerebro with all 10 ASINs here plugged in the top. You are going to want to make sure that from kind of a search standpoint, like 2,000 keywords is more than enough, and you're going to want to make sure it's you're not getting a lot of the really small search volume keywords. So I like to just start at like either 100 to 300 for the minimum search volume. All right, so you can see 1460. I probably would drop it back down to like 200 or 100 to get around 2,000. But once you've got a good number around 2,000 or so, you're going to hit export data. Now make sure you don't accidentally click this one. It's easy to click this one by accident, and you're just going to download the word frequency list. So you want to make sure you do the export data. All right, and this one's the Cerebro file, so the name code for that is just CR, and we're going to hit save, and now we're done getting all of our data sources for this run. So I'm going to X out of this. All right, so I mentioned the file move mode. That's what this file import move mode box is. If you check that on, when we do this next step that I'm going to do, it will automatically move any of those Cerebro files and X-ray files that we saved. So basically these 3 files. So this is the web version of Google Drive, which you could have saved your files directly to this as well. So you can see here's our 3 files. They're named correctly. And the import move mode would automatically, if we have that enabled, move these 3 files from this keyword sources new folder structure over to, you'll see within the Keyword Dominator folder, there's also an imported folder structure. So that just keeps the new folder structure always clean. So then when you want to set Keyword Dominator up for multiple copies, you can just make duplicate Keyword Dominator copies, and you can set it up for, you know, a series of 10 ASINs in each one that are different products, and then you still use the same 2 folders to kind of manage your files, so it becomes pretty easy. At any rate, once you have the 3 files there saved, it's really easy. You want to make sure you do have all your ASIN checkboxes on, because that's going to pull in all the listing data from the API. And then we still got our Cerebro and 2 X-ray files on as well. This would also be the point where if you had like sellerized data or additional Amazon data, search query performance, stuff like that, you could have just as easily checked those boxes on, saved the necessary files using the name codes. There's a supplemental training to show you how to kind of download each one of these if you want to add them. Sellerize is a really good one to check out with the brand analytics data they have. But at any rate, this is kind of a core setup. And at this point too, if you had Zonguru or Jungle Scout, you would have done the exact same thing. You just would have named the files a little different. So you can see the file name codes here, but they're the exact same type of files. So like for Zonguru, it's got keywords on fire. For Jungle Scout, you've got Keyword Scout. That's similar to Cerebro. And then the Helium 10 extensions for the X-ray files are similar to the Zonguru extension, and then the Jungle Scout extension files. So exact same process. But once you've got those 3 files, you've got things set up accordingly. We have file import move mode off at this point, so it's going to keep our files in the new folder structure, which is fine. But I'm going to hit import data into KD boosted. All right, so as you can see, as the data starts coming in and getting retrieved from the API, you're going to get a confirmation. And just wait till this loading bar, the blue bar, finishes, and then you'll see a finished script up here where it currently says running script. You'll see it change here in just a second. All right, and you'll know everything got imported correctly if you see kind of the statuses next to each file type. Again, if you had other keyword sources saved in the correct folder, You would see the confirmation on those as well at this point, but we're just using the helium-10. All right, so once you have that, then you're ready to start building your keyword list. So it's pretty simple. Since we're just using helium-10, we're just going to add our Cerebro keyword. So come up here and click this. All right, and because this is our first keyword list, we're going to hit no. All right, and that is it. Hit OK. So what that little operation did is if you click on this second tab, which is the keyword sources tab, you'll see that it brought in our Cerebro data under the helium-10 Cerebro section. You'll see there's other keyword source sections here. They all operate the exact same. Basically, you can expand them here with the little plus button. And if we scroll all the way to the top, you'll see some of these keywords don't have any search results data, but this is going to show you the organic rank position and then the search volume, and then here's your keyword phrase. This score gets assigned based on how many of the top competitors are, in this case, within the top 30% or 30 organic position. And then anything with a 3 or more score, it gets moved over to our target keyword list. So that's kind of how you quantify which keyword phrases are relevant. And then this alpha threshold is anything between 1 to 10 organic position. If we want to move over any of those keywords that don't meet that score threshold, but maybe we have one ASIN out of the 10 that is within the top 10 in this case, we can very quickly move those over as well with these checkboxes. So I'll show you how to do that here really quickly. But then you've got other keyword sources. Again, there'll be some supplemental training to show you how to use each one of these, but it functions the exact same way. So I'm going to go ahead and actually expand this and tick this little box on here, because this is going to show us any keywords that got moved over. It's just going to show up in green. So you can see a lot of these got moved over, but there's some that are white that didn't, and that's because the score is less than 3 there. Now you can go ahead and decide if you want to move any over manually by checking these boxes, and there's a button here under the add keyword to target list where you can add manual keywords. That's basically what that does. It just pushes any of the keywords there that aren't green over to your target keyword list. And our target keyword list that got built out automatically is this third tab. All right, so in its default state, after you run kind of the initial import, this is what it looks like. I'll make it a little smaller here. So you've got kind of the listing information of all your competitors up here at the top. You can kind of hide some of these sections and expand them if you want to just look at the keyword data. So there I'm just looking kind of at the keyword data. So if I click this little plus button here, it's going to expand out a optimization dashboard that gives you an idea from an index standpoint, how many of the total keywords are being indexed. You've got the rank kind of distribution there of each one, and then here's a title versus bullets kind of comparison. So a lot of data here to kind of soak in and learn. I'm not going to go over that in this video. The main point of this is just to get to this point here. But once you have your target keyword list, the next step is going to be kind of assigning a priority score based on the relevancy of each keyword. And then as you optimize your listing, so if you recall, like this section here is the first product in our list. We said that was our product, so this would be your product here that you would optimize, say, your title. So as we plug in keywords, so you can see it colors it green, which corresponds to this green here, and then anything that shows up in red will be bullets. It also counts how many times each keyword phrase shows up, and then this one here is kind of a permutation count. It's just going to show a check mark if all singular words are in the title, so that's kind of what that means. And then similar concept for search terms, bullets, description. It's just going to kind of check them off as you add them. Other nice things is as you scroll over, this is kind of one master table down here at the bottom. So this is all your helium-10 data. You've got your title density stuff, CPR, giveaway stuff, search volumes. If you pull in your PPC data, that shows up here. Search query performance, you can pull that in as well and kind of compare it versus some of the SaaS tool data. Up here, you've got another comparison more from like a sales and performance standpoint. This is all data that got populated from our X-ray files. Then you have a rank distribution here. So how many keywords are in the top 1 to 4 organic position, and then the corresponding search volumes. If you have the sellerized data, that's where this section over here, the brand analytics information populates. I really like that data. Then we've got some advanced keyword tools over here. There's a way to optimize your search terms. Not going to cover it in this video, but got some additional listing optimization videos that cover that. But quick way to take a look at any of the keyword phrases that you haven't optimized in your title or bullets, and then quickly figure out the singular words that needs to go in the search term field. So that's what this feature's for. The keyword frequency counter, you can click this button here and it's going to populate kind of all the single count words in our target keyword list. So you'll see that's going to populate. All right, so you can see what it did there. It built us out a new list, and it's basically saying the single word golf shows up 64 times in our target keyword list for accumulated search volume of 133,000. Same with travel bag. So this is a quick way you can really get an idea of your core kind of root broad phrases that are in most of your words there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the way to quickly build out your target keyword list. If you want to add any of the alpha ASINs, you can come back here to your sources tab and expand the source that you want. You can see the alpha ASIN checkbox. I really have it on all of the ASINs right now. You could just as easily have only selected these top green ones that have most of the search volume. But what you'll do is just come up here, hit add keywords to target list, and then you'll add alpha ASINs, and it's going to check all of these products one by one, and if any of them have any that have a score less than 3 but have some phrase terms there that have organic rank between 1 and 10, it's going to go ahead and move those over for us and put it at the bottom of the target keyword list, and then it's going to populate all the associated data for those new phrases. All right, so you can see the source column here where it says CR. If it's got a number, that means that was the score attributed. But if it's got an ASIN, that means it's an alpha ASIN, and that's the ASIN that it actually came from. So you can see like green travel cover, that's in our title. We've also got travel cover apparently in our product description. There's some more. Now, if you see this here, this means that you're currently ranking organic position number 1. So again, this section here is for our data. Organic rank is the organic rank position. The search volume, the 2 columns that are displayed right now are kind of the search volume credit that each product's getting for each of the phrases. And if it's in the top 10, you're going to get a number in this column. If it's in the top 30, you're going to get a number in this column. There's also additional columns you can display for each product, as well as you can kind of toggle each product pane on and off with these checkboxes here. So you can see right now I've got all 10 displayed. But if I also wanted to show like the title, search volume credit, exact search volume credit, permutation search volume credit, I could turn all of these on and then click this little compare ASINs button. All right, and you can see that expanded these panes out even further and gave us some additional columns with that data in there. So you'll be able to really quickly compare your product data versus your competitors' data. And then my personal favorite filters are over here in the bulk actions. There's 2 of them that I like: competitors, winners, and my top performers. So basically all you need to do is just pick that from the drop down there and then hit this button here. For the competitor winners, it's going to display only the keywords. In this case, you change kind of the thresholds on the settings tab. But in this case, it's going to show all the competitor winner keywords that are better than position 15, that we are not in the top 15 position, or we're not ranked at all. So it really gives us a quick list on our PPC campaigns. We can use these to help improve the SEO of our listing. So we're going to hit OK. All right, and then that finished. So you can see it quickly filtered for that information. Now we've got this quick list. Similarly, we could have done our current winners. So my top performers, I could click that and just click this button again, and now it's going to do anything that I'm in the top. I think I have it for top 10, so hit OK. All right, so you can see now these are the ones that I'm ranking really well for. These would be ones I definitely don't want to lose momentum on my PPC, and stay well optimized, stay well indexed for, stuff like that. So that's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to cover in this training. There is the ability with Keyword Dominator, you're going to set up a copy for each ASIN. You can make as many copies as you want. You're just going to have the one folder structure there that kind of manages all your import files. You know, this file import move mode, it's going to be off by default. You may want to check that on just to keep that new folder clean. And then is on an ongoing basis, basically the process is the exact same as this video. You can keep all your ASIN listing data on, and it's just going to pull in if your competitors have updated their listing, it'll pull in the new data. You'll keep the checkboxes on and say, like, I wanted to run this again in 2 weeks. We just do the exact same process. It's going to overwrite any of the old data that we had in this run. And then when we get to the keyword listing wizard here, there's actually a couple hidden columns that I didn't cover. I'll show you here. One of them is actually a date. So if you click notes and date, there's a little plus button here. So this shows you the date that the keyword was added to the list. So if you have new keywords from a new Cerebro file, let's say in 2 weeks, it'll have the new updated date there. So that's how you can tell if it's recently added. And then the Helium 10 Extras, they've got some additional columns that I like as well, like PPC related bid information. If you've got an upgraded plan, it'll show keyword sales there, some brand analytics data as well. So Keyword Dominator is basically built in a way that you can use it on a go-forward basis to continue to manage and optimize each product. All right, guys, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this video was pretty short and painless, and you can easily follow along. If you have any issues at all, feel free to reach out to support. If you do need some of these SaaS tools like Helium 10, ZonGuru, or Jungle Scout, I'll throw an affiliate link in the description of this YouTube video. Feel free to sign up, help support the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next training. Thanks.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Scout cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, tuần Helium 10, tuần Keyword Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.